Hi everyone, it's Ed from MMORPG here. Today we're going to be taking a first look at a box that landed on our doorstep today. This is going to be our first impressions of the P750GM power supply from Gigabyte. The P750GM is more of a refreshed and compact lineup in Gigabyte's upcoming power supply range. Currently available right now from the Gigabyte website, it sits just under the Aorus range of top-end gaming powerhouse power supplies, and instead is probably more suited to fit the smaller form factors that are starting to proliferate around the globe, and you'll find more likely nestled in the corner of your front room these days. For now, let's get it out of the box and take a look at what we've got. Getting this power supply out of the box for the very first time, you'll obviously find you have a number of cables. Being fully modular, this means that you can connect and disconnect cables as you wish and should provide better cable management all around whatever you're building. These come with a 20 plus 4 pin motherboard connector that will be able to deliver power direct to whatever motherboard you're using. You'll also find that you have a couple of CPU 4 and 4 pin connectors that allow you to deliver, again, what you would expect. You'll also find that you get a bunch of PCI Express 6 and 2 pin connectors. You get 4 of these in the box, as well as 8 SATA connectors, like the aforementioned here, as well as a peripheral and floppy connector, which I have here somewhere, which also includes Molex connectors for anyone that needs those in hand. You get 3 peripherals from the Molex and 1 floppy cable there. So as it stands, you will get all of these, as well as a standard power cable. Being European, I'll need a different power cable for that. As well as that, you get a set of nice screws. Well, all screws are nice, I suppose, but it's nice to have them in that box, as well as a wonderful silica gel pack, because, hey, why not? Getting out of the box, the P750GM is a relatively unassuming looking power supply. It might not be riddled with RGB goodness, but beneath the Gigabyte branding along the top here and this cool looking mesh grille, you will find plenty of features that you would want in a top-end power supply that doesn't need to scream from the corner of the room. Beneath the mesh grille here, we've currently got a 120mm smart fan. That's something slimmed down from the 135mm smart fan that sits inside the Aorus 850W power supply and certainly keeps the whole thing perfectly cool. On the other side here, we've got our standard grille here, again giving plenty of ventilation to the power supply at the back, as well as on-off switch. Nothing too amazing there, but that's not the point of here. What you want to be looking at is the internals here, and the Gigabyte P750GM comes with Japanese capacitors at its heart. So while the 120mm smart fan will be keeping it nice and cool, the Japanese capacitors should give it an extra long lifespan and give you plenty of stability alongside the number of features that it's got. Alongside a powerful 12-volt rail, this also has connectors when it's the right way up for your motherboard power supply, your motherboard power, your CPU and PCI Express ports along here, as well as a number of 6-pin connectors that will give you plenty of peripheral support. Inside, you also get OVP, OPP, SCP, UVP, OCP, and OTP protection. If that doesn't ring any bells, that's absolutely no problem, but suffice to say that it is also 80 plus gold certified, which means it'll give you something around 90% efficiency at 50% loads. That will obviously drop off, and we'll feature that in our write-up. However, it's worth noting that puts it in the top end power supplies in the bronze, silver, gold categories. Other than that, you obviously see it is a little smaller than other power supplies of its ilk. At 750 watts, it manages to shave something of around 2 centimeters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is significant when you actually feel it in hand, off of the Aorus dimensions for the 850, which I've been comparing it to. The Gigabyte P750GM looks like it's going to be a great choice of power supply, potentially for someone who's looking for performance protection and a reliable system that's not going to decide that it's going to die within the 5 years warranty that Gigabyte provides on this particular supply. We're going to delve into this a little further. I'm going to stick it in my system, and we're going to take a look at how easy it is to get set up with the P750GM power supply from Gigabyte. Thanks for watching this unboxing. I'm Ed. This has been MMORPG.